Okay, so I'm gonna keep this one relatively short. I'm gonna try to keep this one relatively short. I've been covering this since the whole Dave Chappelle scandal started happening when the poster came out, and I finally got a chance to sit down this week and watch it. Dude, that thing was hilarious. I can see how it hurt some people. I can see how it hurt some people, but I'm not gonna lie, it was funny. It was funny, and I'm not gonna go through the whole entire thing, but we'll read a little bit of this and then discuss a little bit. Hundreds of Netflix employees walked out of work in protest of the streaming platform's controversial Dave Chappelle special. The workers, who are organized by Team Trans, believe the special is transphobic and are calling for Netflix to remove it and commit to releasing more intersectional content. And this is exactly what I was talking about on the last news stream, or in the last news article that I read about first world problems. This is a ridiculous first world problem. We're so worried about being hurt about somebody else's comments. And I watched this special. I'm not gonna lie, I laughed, had a few moments so I was like, oh no, he didn't go there, but it was funny, and it's just comedy. You know, people are so easy to get offended or hurt by whatever. We're so busy checking boxes that we're literally segregating ourselves. No offense, but even if you're not part of the LGBTQ community, as much as they love to say, love and peace for everybody, they're not very loving or very understanding. But there's a bigger issue. There's a bigger issue, especially when he goes on to talk about Daphne. It's Daphne at the end of the day. I don't remember. Let me know. It's Daphne at the end of the special. Let me know in the comments. But when he goes on to talk about what happened to her, that's a tragedy, and it should cause you to self-reflect on some of the issues that are going on, not just in the LGBTQ community, but just in general, in public in general. There's certain issues that should cause people to reflect on what he says. Anyways, let me keep going. I don't want to go down too deep on this rabbit hole because I've been covering this for the last couple of weeks, and I think it's just ridiculous. Protesters streamed from the company's Sunset Boulevard building around 10 a.m. Wednesday, where they held rally to underscore the importance of responsible content offering that prioritizes the safety and dignity of all marginalized communities. The employees walking out includes Netflix Most Team, a social team dedicated to the company's LGBTQ plus content. Dave Chappelle doesn't get sucked onto the joy. What is it? Sorry, Dave Chappelle doesn't get to suck the joy out of this moment. This is a moment where we are all coming together in a unified effort. Activist Ashley Marie Preston said at Wednesday's rally. This is a moment where we understand that it's one for all and all for one, and we won't stop until justice is brought. Listen, all I'm gonna say, and I'm not gonna keep going on this, I think I'm gonna stop right here. I'm not gonna keep going on this article. It's not a long read. If you guys want to read it, you're more than welcome to read it. It is Netflix employee stage walkout on Dave Chappelle special. It's on CBS News. Listen, I watched this special. Were there certain things that he said that are controversial? Of course, that's always been Dave Chappelle. Now, I believe that for a organization or a community, the LGBTQ community plus, you should be self-reflecting based on what he said. And here's why. There's people within your own community that you chastise. And let me put it this way, there's conservative people who are part of the LGBTQ community, and they're not accepted by your community because they are conservative. So if they have to check a box, I'm gay, I'm trans, I'm whatever, I'm this gender, but the moment they check, oh, I'm conservative, they're automatically excluded. So how can they be part of your community if they're excluded? How can you preach love? How can your community preach love for everybody in unity if you're excluding people? If you're including cis males and cis women, how can we be included? How can we all be part of a unified community? And there is no such thing as a unified community. And I'm going to say that there is no such thing as a unified community. There will never be such a thing as a unified community, because people have to be able to tolerate other people's views. People have to be able to not just tolerate, but understand other people's views. But I'm going to continue here because it seems like the CEO might be caving in. He came out and apologized, and I'm not going to go too much into this, but he came out and apologized and says that he needs to listen more to what the people want, this and that. I don't think he's 100% caving in. I think he's doing what he needs to do in order to make sure that his company succeeds, and that's fine. You know, while he did say that some, and I think this is it, while some employees disagree with, have a strong belief that content on screen doesn't directly translate to real world harm. In a way, that's true. In a way, content on the screen, and like he said, that, you know, he also said that he supports the artists and what they do with their art, right? So he is supporting Dave Chappelle. I'm not going to say that he's not and that he's caving in. He goes on and says that they do need to listen more to his people, and that he handled the situation incorrectly the first time around when people started complaining. So he did say that. But again, he's still standing behind his artists and their art, which is fine, and it's great. So keep doing that and keep putting out more content based on the artist content. Like I've said before, I've watched some shows where there's certain things that are so politicized that makes me cringe, and I don't want to watch the shows anymore. Certain shows, and I'm not gonna mention any, like Batwoman, that have doomed their own shows because they politicize everything and they make everything out to be bigger than what it is, bigger than what things are. Are there issues? Yes, these are first world problem issues. If you're willing to walk out over some comments that someone said, that's a first world problem. That's a first world problem, and it's a ridiculous problem, because at this day and age, most of the people don't care what you identify as. Nobody cares whether, I shouldn't say nobody, because some people do, but it's such a minority that it doesn't matter. And the more attention you pay to them, the more secluded you become from the world. You're never going to have a unified nation. Not everybody's going to have the same beliefs. We have to understand that, and we have to move on. If you don't want to deal with people who don't have the same beliefs as you, then move on. Like I said, I watched the special, and I think that there's certain things in there that people need to go back and watch and really pay attention to the deeper underlying message of that. And the message is different for everybody, and it's going to be different for everybody. But stop checking boxes. No, you can't unify the world by making them go around your rules and regulations, because the moment that you do that is the moment that you will cause backlash. Does the United States need changes? Yes, there are certain changes that need to happen, but there's nothing out there today, no law out there today. Well, no, I shouldn't say no law, because there are some laws that still need to get changed, but make the changes happen based on a collective that's best for everybody, not just for one group. Because the moment that you make it for one group, it's the problem that you have problems. It's the time that you have problems. So I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna move on. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. Also, leave your comments below. If you want to chat about any of these topics or any others, consider joining my live stream during my 1-hour pre-gaming news recap. I'm Eric the Inadequate, and until next time.